Twan, what's up?
What's up, Corey?
What's up, bro?
Not much, chilling. Shoot, keeping up with all this nonsense that's going on.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about it, man. Virgil Ortiz, man.
He pulled out again. God dang.
I mean, what if, like, to me, it's like, what if you would have made, like, what if you'd have made reservations just for that fight? Like, what if, like, this is the third time in I don't know how long that this cat done pulled out of this fight in Texas. If I got money, I'm not going to be wasting my money on no more Virgil Ortiz tickets. I feel like at this point, you're going to have to market him on an undercard. You know.
So what was the reason for him to pull out?
He's got some type of something that begins with an R that has to do with I guess losing weight or whatever.
So he ain't cutting weight properly. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, and then even B-Hop, I didn't save the clip, but even B-Hop was saying like, yo, like this is the third or fourth time this has happened, so maybe it's time for him to fight at 154. You know, and then this time he fainted, I want to say Thursday, but this is like 3 times in a row, Twan, coming up to fight week that.
Oh, he needs to fight at a bigger weight then. Like
that he's pulled out. Like, just think about that, Twan. You pulled out in January. And I'm like, all right. And then remember in March, we was like, oh, yeah, we got these fights in a row. Or it was April or something. Then he pulls out in April. Then it comes to July in San Antonio, and then he pulls out fight week again.
Yeah, he needs to move up in weight. That's it. That's what he's going to have to do, because either one, his diet, he has bad dieting, and when it comes down to the camp, he isn't dieting properly to cut the weight, or it's just his body composition where he really needs to jump to 154, because what does he fight at, 147?
Yes, he fights at 147 because he's going to be the biggest challenger.
Yeah, so he needs to jump to 54. Like, he will have to make that jump to 54, because if he's feigning while trying to cut weight, that's
fight week though. Like people done bought their tickets, Twan.
Like, I get that, but like, dude, you shouldn't be having to cut weight like that during fight week. You shouldn't. You should have already cut the majority of your weight. The most you have to lose during fight week is maybe 5 or 6 pounds, if that. And even then, that'll take all of 1 to 2 hours. You hop in a sauna with a sauna suit, hop on a bike for a little bit, and then just diet properly up until weigh-ins. So either, again, he needs to diet properly during camp, because it all starts with the diet, or move up to 54, which honestly, if he can't stick with the diet with his trainer, then jump to 54 where you can have a tad bit more leeway, where you can make 154 and be healthy.
Right.
And it goes back to like the ticket prices too. Like, say like you bought tickets to that Ortiz fight.
I mean, think about that. Like you, I could have been going. Like, it's some people that I could have been on. People could be on vacation. They could be doing a lot of stuff. People might have just been like, "Oh, Ortiz coming in town. That's a big name." There's so many fighters in Texas right now. You know, you got the Charlo twins.
Yeah.
You know, one of the Figueroas, they just retired. It ain't but so many big name, other than Earl Spence. Like, it's only so many. It's 5 fighters in Texas that it's like, okay, when they there, because Texas is such a big sports state, people going to be like, all right, I'm gonna be there. And if I was like, okay, I want to see this Ortiz fight, it's the middle of the summer, it's gonna be lit. Yeah. And then out of nowhere, Twan, the third time you pull out of the fight on Thursday, like on Wednesday on his Instagram, it's like only 3 more days.
So he pulled out literally right before weigh-ins because fight was on Saturday, right? Fight would be today, right?
Come on, man.
So fight would
Come
be
on,
today.
man.
Weigh-ins would have been yesterday.
And what you supposed to do after you done paid for them tickets already?
You gonna have to get a refund. He ain't getting the money. Don't like he ain't making nothing out this fight.
Yeah, that's what I said. So how are you, like, to me, Oscar De La Hoya and them, they got to come up with a different strategy to promote him. Because me as a boxing fan, Swan, if they say Virgil Ortiz is headlining anywhere in Texas, I'm not going to waste my money because he's not reliable.
Oh no, just especially because you pulled out of 3 fights in a year.
That's probably why they had to move the fight from Fort Worth to San Antonio, because he had already pulled out twice in Fort Worth on his hometown. So people work hard. They like, man, I'm not about to pay you again, and I don't know if you're going to be there or not. Now he did this. I don't see it. I don't see a way that you're going to be able to promote him, Twan.
Not in Texas unless you try to go like to Dallas or Houston, but even then, people ain't like that down in Dallas or Houston.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's going to have to do he's going to be on somebody's undercard in Vegas. He's probably going to win 4 or 5 fights in a row and then come back to Texas. But trying to put his next fight in Texas is not going to be a good look because nobody's going to want to come to that because they know he's not reliable.
Yeah, but even then, if he gets like 4 or 5 fights and then comes back to Texas, the likelihood of people buying tickets in Texas is going to still be vague because everybody's still got that sour taste in their mouth. Like, bro, you are a main event on somebody's card. Like, you are the main
3 times in a row.
Like, so De La Hoya was setting you up to make money, and then your team pulled out. So I'm pretty sure De La Hoya's already taught them, like, bro, either one or two things will have to happen. You need to change trainers, or you need to move up to 54.
Something.
Because, like, shoot, even I was watching the change subject a little bit. I was looking at Fight Hype. Yesterday, and De La Hoya put out there like Garcia needed somebody to crack the whip, like Mayweather Senior did to him, and they put a video out of Derek James and Garcia like on the pads, and Derek James like he got him because you saw in the Tank fight how he dropped his left hand whenever he threw his right.
Right.
And that's how Tank kept catching him with him. Yeah. Like Derek James, he saw it one time. Like Ryan did a good combo, he showed off a little bit, dropped the hand, and you see Derek's. You see it like the look, like the look that you give your kids when they're doing something stupid.
Right.
Same look that Derek James gave to Garcia after he did it, and then he did it again, and then he threw the pad right at his head. He was like, "Pow!" Like, keep your hand up, bro. And Garcia looked at him. No argument, no nothing. Was like, all right, I got you. Threw the combo again, put his hand right back up. I was like, okay, yeah. Like, Garcia, you made a really, like, I'm giving kudos, number one, for taking Derek James, like, going to Derek James and asking to train and kudos to Derek James for actually, like, cracking the actual whip on him. Like, you need to fix your fundamentals. You coming up to 40. Like, you only got to taste it out with Tank. Don't get me wrong. Tank hits like a fucking cruiserweight, but like these boys at 40, number one, they can take a punch. Number two, they can actually throw some stuff too. So kudos on that. Another thing, I think a lot of people are saying that the Wilder Joshua fight is a done deal for December.
And I don't want to see that. But the thing is, though, why are you fighting dude in August? Like, my thing is, like, you don't fight nobody or fight somebody else you ain't never fought for. I don't want to see you fight dude again, Dillian White. Like, that's just a boring ass fight to me.
Oh, White and Joshua again?
Yeah, like, who wants to see that? Like, that's like this.
That's like how that's how
like Tank. Go ahead.
Fury fought that dude for the third time. I can't remember what his name is, but when Fury fought that dude for the third time, when nobody wanted to see it,
Derek Chisora.
Yes.
Yeah, they be doing that in the UK. Like, let's just throw him in there, but people still went over there because they love. It'd be like Tank fighting Isaac Cruz again, just to pass time to fight somebody else. Not even Isaac Cruz, somebody that he won comfortably a decision over, and it's like, let's just fight him. Let him fight him again just to see time pass.
Yeah, just no, like Josh. We need to. Don't get me wrong. I could kind of get why, because they wanted to get his little bit of like mojo back, a little bit of motivation, because he did lose decisively to Usyk. But like,
Right.
but still, like, come on, Joshua, like, Dylan White ain't even in your class for real. Like, you should have just sucked up and fought freaking Andy Ruiz, for all we're saying.
I mean, why doesn't Dillian White fight Wilder? That would be better than and have him on the undercard, and then have Joshua fight somebody else, and then they talk trash to each other after they both fights, and they fight in December. That would be better than him fighting Dillian White.
Yeah. Just because, like, dude, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on with these heavyweights now. You got Fury still talking his nonsense. I'm done with Fury. Like, he's getting on my nerves.
Yeah, that was terrible. You said. I mean, he still ain't fought nobody. Like, who's he even supposed to fight?
I'm retired, but I'm talking noise. Like, oh, Wilder's a bum this, Wilder's a bum that. I'm like, yo, Wilder put you back on the mat, bro. Like, Wilder did not have to fight. Like, Wilder did not have to say, you know what, I gotta fight you, yo. Like, he was already in line to try and fight Joshua, but Joshua's on that nonsense and never freaking got to the contract. So he was like, you know what, let me fight Fury. Like, come on, Fury, keep it a buck. It's not like he's a bum. Like, and then Eddie Hearn comes out and says, Wilder is the most overrated heavyweight right now. And I just looked at him, I was like, what do you mean? Like, shoot. Joshua just lost to Usyk fighting Dillian White again. Freaking the dude that just lost to the dude from China.
Oh yeah, he could have fought Robot. What's Robot's name? What's his name? Joe Joyce. He could have fought. He could have fought Robotic Joe Joyce.
Yeah, like Joe Joyce just lost to the dude from China. Like, the dude from China still has a mandatory coming up. Like, Josh, you could have fought the dude from China.
Right.
To be for real, like, in China, to be completely honest with you, that'd have been a big dumbass payday. That could have been a huge payday for both of them.
Right.
But, like, I don't know. Like, y'all sleeping right now. Like, I know we're still getting a little hype over the Crawford and Spence fight. And more
right, but even that is long overdue, Twan. Like, remember, I gave up on it because I was so fed up with it. Like, they've been talking about this fight.
Like,
I said 4 years, but it's really 5 years. They've really been talking about this fight since what, 2018, right?
Yeah, it's been like 5 years.
5 years, that's a long ass time, man.
Like, they on that Mayweather Pacquiao nonsense.
Mayweather Pacquiao might have been quicker. I think that was only like 4 years. That was like what?
No, I think it was 5 years too. I think it was 5 years as well.
What was it, like 2010 to like 2015?
No, because I think Mayweather came back 2009.
So it might have been a little longer.
So it would have been like 5-6 years. Because I know Pacquiao, as soon as Mayweather retired, that's when Pacquiao went on his run of just running through all welterweights up to light super welterweight to fight Margarito.
Until his ass got caught with that left from Marquez.
I was so hurt. Dang.
He put his ass to sleep.
Gave him that Ambien. That was overdue, though. That was an overdue. I'm happy for Manuel Marquez for that fight, but still, I was like, dang, you had to do Manny like that.
Right.
Dang, you just gave him that all the way Ambien, but jeez. But like, yeah, Boston's kind of simmered down. Clarissa Shields, your favorite girl in the world, still talking about she needs to.
What has she been talking about lately?
Being the face of boxing, her usual talking out the side of her neck.
He's still saying that?
She was on Twitter like 3 or 4 days ago saying that I should be the face of boxing. I'm like,
hold on. You're not even hold on 1 second. Keep talking, Twan. She's not even the face of female boxing.
It's like, that's all I can say. I'm just like, girl, like, I get it. Like, you got your record, you're undisputed, this, that, and the third, got all the belts, but like, you gotta be marketable. You gotta be marketable to a degree. Like, you can't be like aggressive. It's cool to talk smack, but you're not even calling nobody out for real. Like, you're not like Baumgartner. You ain't called Baumgartner out. You ain't fighting Katie Taylor. You ain't fighting none of these girls that are making bank for real. Like, it's cool that you want to be the face of boxing, but like,
right?
Who you trying to come down to? Like, either are you trying to go up and wait to fight a female? You coming down and wait to fight a female?
And a lot of people wonder if that thing between her and Hannah Gabriels was manufactured. Because every time it's like even with Rolly, like every time it seems like they got a challenge and it's a fight from Central America, magically, all of a sudden it's all these drug problems.
Yeah. Man, Rolly, I'm tired of Rolly. Rolly be talking on the side of his like him and Kambosa's been talking about Tank the past couple weeks too.
Don't forget he fights either next week or in 2 weeks.
Oh, Kambosa's?
Yeah, he fights, but he ain't,
I gotta see how he looks like because he's like, yeah, I can handle a punch from Tank. And I laughed as soon as he said, I was like, huh, oh, okay.
He might be able to handle him, but he ain't gonna win.
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, Haney was hurting him. Haney don't got power like that. We all know this. Haney can bang a little bit, but he don't got Tank power. Like let Kambosos mess around and his defense is lax, and Tank set him up the way he want to set him up.
Right.
His whole life, he freaking wake up in the gulag. Like Kambosos don't want that. He's like, yeah, I'll take on Tank God Rider. Yeah, all right, that's cool.
I ain't mad at Kambosos though for trying to get his money.
Oh no, I'm proud of him. Like, yo, talk your stuff. Like, talk your talk.
Because we both know that the Haney fight is not gonna happen right away.
Oh no, it's not. And everybody's calling it. Everybody's been calling it.
And then Shakur saying that Haney lowballed him to duck him. My thing is with Shakur, like,
I don't think so.
Like, huh?
I don't think so.
Well, here's my thing with Shakur. It's like, if you going for the title, and I said the same thing when it went with Wilder, when it went with Joshua, when it went with anybody else. If you want to go for the title, if you want to be undisputed, if you want to be the one that everybody says is the man, you take that low ball number and then you go whoop their butt.
Exactly.
And then if they all of a sudden pull out and say, oh, I want to switch my opponents once you take the low ball number, then everybody knows. It's just like I was joking about Benavidez and Canelo, but I guarantee you Benavidez will be like, I'll take a low ball number because I want to win.
I want to win. Exactly. Like Shakur's like, oh, it's a 75-25 split. I don't like that. I'm like, but what do you bring to the table, Shakur? Like, you got no belts. You literally just got to 35. It wasn't like you've been stomping around 35 for like 2 years, smashing everybody. You literally just got to 35 and you beat a mid card for real in your main event.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So you could keep calling Haney out, but take your little 500,000, smash fucking Haney.
My thing is, 500,000 is plenty for like.
Exactly.
Like I'm not trying to be mean, but Shakur's great. He's on the up and up, but he's not $1 million fighter yet. Like Tank wasn't getting that type of money when he was where Shakur was at.
Exactly. Like nobody was. So he's gotta humble himself just a little bit. Like, yo, get a little bit. So like take the low ball, get your money. Smash Haney. You say you can smash Haney, even though I think Haney may actually win that fight. Haney's just a little bit bigger. Like Shakur's a smaller 35, to be honest. So like, if it's gonna be a win, it's not gonna be like it's gonna be more towards like the Haney Lomachenko route, where it's not gonna be two bangers. It's gonna be a technical fight. So you gotta be a real decent judge and be able to score it technically. Because people ain't gonna be putting people on the ground. They got power, but they don't got power like that to catch somebody. And then, but Haney is probably trying to look to get the run back with Lomachenko because everybody still think Lomachenko wins, which is freaking stupid.
Right.
Because I don't know what the hell people are still thinking Lomachenko won that fight. I went back and looked at that fight, and I'm still like, how y'all scoring it the way y'all scoring it?
Well, you see Shakur backpedal once he looked.
Only Shakur did. Everybody else still Lomachenko got robbed. How?
Yeah, whatever. Well, who we got to see who Lomachenko fights next. I'd like to see Lomachenko fight Kambosos, honestly.
That would be a good matchup.
That would tell everything.
That would be a great matchup. Like
Kambosos fight this next dude, Lomachenko fight. And another thing is, can't Lomachenko go back down to 130?
Yeah, if he wanted to. Because Lomachenko, again, is a small 35.
Right.
He can
go to 130. He can still win some belts and then come back up.
Yeah, exactly.
He can honestly be undisputed at 130 if he wants.
He could be undisputed at 130, come back up to 135, fight Haney like how Charlo and Canelo are doing it. And speaking of that, how are you thinking that fight's looking? Because I didn't think Charlo was that big.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if Big Jamal is Saudi or if this is what I will say this. That's what the hell was going on when we was wondering why he didn't fight Tim Tszyu. He was behind the scenes knowing he was going to get that Canelo fight.
Which in hindsight, is kind of genius.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even going to be. You can't get mad, say he
mad.
ducking Zoo or none of that, because Tim Zoo ain't Charlo. And then most importantly, unless Jermell Charlo invests his money in Trill Burgers or Whataburger or one of the big food chains in Texas, or gets in business with Jeff Bezos or Apple, or does some type of creative business or marketing, there's going to be no other night in his whole life where he's going to be able to make this type of money.
On top of it, he's not risking his belts. He's jumping up.
Exactly. He's about to make a crap ton of money, Twan, for legacy.
Exactly. Like, he's not risking belts. Like, it's a genius move. Like, everybody said it. I'm like, I was criticizing. Hold on, kids. I was criticizing Canelo for taking the fight, but then like, for Charlo, he doesn't lose this. He doesn't lose nothing losing in this fight. Like, if he goes out there, performs like I think he's gonna perform, which honestly I think his hand speed's a little bit faster than Canelo. And he can take Canelo into the deeper water. Like, honestly, if he looks how Bivol fought Canelo and fights him a little bit like that,
right,
he has a decent chance of winning.
What is the fight at 165 or something?
It's at 68. He's fighting for his belts.
Oh, I respect.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, he has nothing to lose. Like, there's no catch weight. He's jumping 2 weight classes to fight Canelo at 68 for undisputed, while being undisputed at 54. I'm like, dude, that's genius. I'm not mad at you. Like, and on top of it, like, they're saying because Canelo's not a natural 68, he came up from 47, that Charlo may actually be bigger than him come weigh-ins.
Right.
So, like, even then, it's like, oh, like, we may have something here. And Tim Zoo, as much as I like him, much I respect him, you can't be mad at Charlo for freaking. He was like, oh, take this fight, risk my belts, get a less payday. Or 2, don't risk my belts, bigger payday, don't lose my belts, more on my legacy, potential to be undisputed in 2 weight classes.
Right.
I'm taking that fight. Like, I'll take that fight.
And PBC would be smart too, Twan, if they had Jamal fight Andrade on the undercard.
Exactly. That would be for both the brothers to fight that night.
It would be smart. It would put a lot of stuff behind, and I think it would be a pay-per-view that does well in September, because for many years, Twan, pay-per-views don't do well in September because not only do you got to compete with football, but you got to compete with UFC sometimes. And if that is a fight in September,
it's the last week of September.
That's the last week of September. I think that's the smartest thing, because it's going to get dead here in a minute. Like, August, we're going to do that. We'll probably talk Jake Paul. We'll do stuff, but then in that first part of September, it's going to be dead, Twan.
Yeah, because NFL
football coming out. Now, when Halloween kick in, then boxing going to start, because everybody done. What you saying?
That whole rolling.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody done football, high school football done, college football. You know who's going to be in the championship. You know what your NFL team is, blah, blah. Then it starts to come, all right, Saturday night, I want some more boxing again. I want something to do. And it started to get chilly again where you at.
Yep.
So it's going to be them nights again. And then, come November and December, it picks all the way up.
Yep, it's going to be on full swing come November.
And then in January, when all the New Year's Bowls is over, that's when it's lit. That's why I thought it was genius that Tank fought right after, like, the week after the NCAA football is over, because it's like it's nothing on Saturday night anymore. So, like, the team ain't in the playoffs. You really don't care about the NFL like that.
Yeah, so like that's what I was telling you earlier. Like, once I'm done with whatever I got to do with my court stuff and they finally clear me, hopefully I can get something where I can get in the ring around like November. Yeah, like November.
You gonna get back in the ring?
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still a little on the heavier side, but I've been running, so hopefully I can get something in.
You still young. You still young. Don't make no excuses. I got to see that SOG documentary too. I've been watching some of it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing again. Yeah.
Oh shoot. Okay. That's not bad.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw parts of it.
Don't tell me about it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I'm gonna try to watch the whole thing today, like in that downtime between Boots tonight. And here's another thing too. What Virgil Ortiz did also, Twan, back to me being mad about that and still bitching about that. What Virgil Ortiz did too, Twan, what he don't understand is it's like what he just put behind himself was that, okay, tonight I was more interested in him versus Stanionis. Yeah. That was going to get the bite. Remember all those nights we complained, like, dang, it's this fight and then that fight, and there's too many fights. Like, tonight, Stanionis and Ortiz was going to get my money, everything, and I'm like, I'm on that. Now that Ortiz pulled out again, it's like, oh, what do you think everybody's going to do, Twan? They're going to watch. They're going to Showtime. They're going to watch in this fight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Nobody going to be like, I might see what Kid Austin do, but I'm not interested in that damn the zone fight.
No, not at all. Like, I'll look at it tonight just to.
I'll look and see if there's like some prospects, but like I'm not even blinking on that. That was terrible.
Yeah,
that was horrible. Like, Twan, I don't think you understand. Like, that was horrible timing. Third time. How many times a chick gonna stand you up for a date when you be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that?
No, that's once. To be honest, but like.
Or the fact that it got to a third time and then it's the week of the fight, it's like
it's not even a week.
I can't give you 50 cents, homie.
It's like days before the fight. Like, it'd be something like if you injured yourself and that was
third time, no, Twan.
But like, don't get me wrong, 3 times is bad, but like the reasoning is what makes it worse because you said it's something to do with a weight issue. I'm like. It'd be something like, number one, you shouldn't be sparring to begin with the week before the fight. So if you got injured sparring, that's on your camp's fault. You need to change trainers. But
right.
Weight issue, like, not like you ain't going to make weight. They're like, you're passing out trying to make weight.
Right.
So, no, again, like I said, when we first started, 2 things need to happen. Either one, you need to change trainers immediately. Like, De La Hoya needs to sit down and tell him those are the 2 choices. Either one, you change trainers immediately,
right,
or you jump to 54. You get no in between. And if you don't want to do either or, I'm cutting you. Like, you do your own damn thing because, like, you're putting a bad stain on his brand now. Like,
yeah, like, I mean, he can't sound like, I don't like Twan. How many times a dude gonna be from Baltimore? Supposed to fight, and then he don't show up 3 times, and you have him 2 times scheduled in Baltimore, and then you move it to like
Baltimore's harsh. Let you do that one time. You screwed. Let nobody coming out to see you if you from B-more. You supposed to fight in B-more like
twice, and then the 3rd time you pull out.
And to pull out because of some weight issue. Let people in Baltimore be like, oh, we're going to Royal Farm Arena, and we supposed
to. Man, people work hard for their money, man.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, we're going out for a night. We're gonna watch this dude, and we're gonna turn up afterwards. And you're like, oh.
And then Thursday, because when you told me that, I was like, what is Twan talking about? I was just here. They had the press conference the other day, and then to come to weigh-in day, I'm like, man, I just sat there and put my phone. And I was like, what the hell is going on, man? What you mean?
They said you said it's a weight thing. Either he changed your trainer and or jump to 54. And if I was
and be ready to get paid $100,000 a fight, not $500,000, like, because that's hurt. Like you said, that's hurting people's brand.
Yeah, like that like De La Hoya. I would put both stipulations in just to be safe. Like, yo, change your trainers and jump to 54. If you can't do that, you don't want to do that. Go sign with Top Rank or something. Go sign with PBC. Go sign with or DAZN or something like that, or go be a free agent. Go sign over there with Sky Sports or something like that. Like, I don't need you over here because he's, again, as much as I can't stand De La Hoya, he's still trying to build a brand. Yeah,
and he still loves boxing.
Yeah, like, he loves boxing, so, like, he's gonna do what he has to do.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that, Twan. I was disgusted, man. So tonight, man, what you got for Boots? You got him in a KO, or what's your call for night for Boots?
I think it may be a tier. I think it may be a stoppage. I'm not sure about a whole KO. I think it's gonna be a stoppage though. I think he's gonna stop him. Not early, probably mid rounds.
And then what's next for him?
Boots. What did he fight at? What weight does he fight at? What Boots fight at? 40?
47. So I'm thinking. So I'm thinking since Virgil Ortiz done pulled out twice, I'm thinking it should be Boots versus Stanionis because, like you said, after Spence and Crawford fight, they probably gonna both move up to 154.
One may. I'm for sure thinking Spence is.
Some people think Earl Spence is going to knock Crawford out.
It wouldn't surprise me because of the size difference.
And you don't think Crawford's fought as tough as opponents?
No,
But when
Crawford.
they fought similar opponents, they like, okay, so when they both fought Kell Brook, it was different, but at the same time, it's like, but they both fought Kell Brook at different parts of his career. Earl Spence fought Kell Brook 5-6 years earlier when Kell Brook was still a brute, and he had might only been 1 or 2 years after beating Sean Porter. And Kell Brook had fought Triple G at around that time.
Yeah, like they fought similar people. It's just like.
But I remember Kell Brook fought Triple G before he fought Earl Spence. So his fight before Earl Spence was Triple G.
Yeah.
He fought Kell Brook 5 years later when Kell Brook is kind of like,
he's on the decline. See, my only issue with Crawford right now is the fact that he hasn't been drugged to deep, deep water.
Right.
That's my thing with Crawford. Like, Crawford is a dog. I already know when he gets hurt, he turns up. That's what Spence really needs to look out for. Because I think Spence is going to catch him. I think Spence is going to hurt him. What Spence needs to look out for is Crawford turning up. Because Crawford ain't like a lot of the dudes at 47 where you can hurt them and they'll back off a little bit to get their life together. Crawford's like an old 80s fighter in a sense. Where like, you hurt me, oh, it's time to dial in. Let's get cracking. And he's going to come like 100 times harder for real. Like that's how Crawford fights. So if Spence honestly can hurt him and then withstand the onslaught that's going to come afterwards, and he can pull Crawford into those deeper waters, like 11th, 12th round, but Spence still needs to keep the pressure on, then I can see him stopping him. But if Spence is playing around with him and letting Crawford do his thing, and if he gets hurt and he can't withstand it, Crawford's gonna put him on his ass. Right. Crawford's a dog. Like don't get it. Move, cat. Goddamn.
Like, that cat's funny. Goddamn. That cat, like, let me get my limelight too.
Like, my goddamn nerve. But like now. But like Crawford is an 80s fighter in today's time. Like, Crawford turns the fuck up. Like he doesn't. And the thing with Crawford is he doesn't just knock you out. He beats you up, and then he knocks you out. Right. So, and Spence has to be careful of that. Like, Spence is naturally bigger. Spence is naturally stronger. Right. But Crawford got that dog in him. And to be honest, like, yeah, they fought the same people, but it's still levels. I still give, like, out. It's truly a 50-50 fight. The more I'm thinking about it, at first I thought Spence could. Not easily, but, like, he may catch him. Right. But, like, sitting there, like, still thinking, getting closer and closer to the fight, I'm like, like, Crawford could legit beat him up. Like, not even like, stop. Like, he could beat your ass and then put you out, because that's what Crawford does. Crawford will fight you, beat you up, then put you down. And then Crawford could honestly stay at 47, or he could jump to 54 and fight Lil Charlo. He could. Like, the fight's there, the money's there. Like, they need to, like, stop BSing around. As soon as they get that fight done, start looking for another money fight. For both of them, for real. Because they, again, either Crawford can stay at 47 and then bait one of the 40s to come up to 47 and fight him. And Spence could jump to 54 and start.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good fight, and I think both of their careers are fine.
Oh, yeah, both are, like, nobody legacy-wise, nobody loses.
Yeah. It's just the fight of this generation.
Yeah, it's just everybody like, who's...
Last generation was Pacquiao Mayweather. The fight of this generation was...
Spence Crawford.
Right, and when it came to heavyweights, Joshua and... We already talked about that. The Wilder, they screwed that up, but,
not all the way up.
Whatever. And I think that is the reason why we're getting these fights, because fighters are looking back and seeing like, they screwed up a big money, big legacy fight, and now the heavyweight thing is all over the world with dude from Ukraine. So I think these younger fighters like, I ain't messing it up. Let's go ahead and fight each other, and whatever happened, and let's make the most money we can make in one night.
Yeah, because they got to understand, like, the 80 fighters, the guys in the 80s, 70s, 80s, early 90s, they were like, we don't care. We're gonna fight.
Right. And they made money.
And they made good money. And it's like they didn't have no bad blood. It's like everybody now Twitter.
I remember, Twan, pay-per-view was still 50-50 in 1990.
Exactly. And they were making
it was $50 in 1990, and your gas prices and stuff went stretched way farther.
Exactly. So now you got all this new money coming in and the inflation of pricing. So you're gonna make your bread. Just suck it up. Y'all ain't gonna be sitting here like, oh, I fought this person, you fought that person, we fought the same people. What happened? No, like, stop pussyfooting around, get in the ring, fight. Yeah. Who's the better man? Cool. If you ain't the better man, y'all got a rematch clause, run that shit back.
Or you'll be like Wilder Joshua regretting it 6 years later.
Exactly. And they both looking because they both on a not necessarily downward spiral because again,
it's not downward spiral, but it's like y'all could have whatever happened after that, y'all both could have made $100 million each off of that fight.
They could have ascended to a territory where Fury wouldn't even be in a discussion.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
Fury would have to fight his way back up the ladder.
Exactly. Like Fury wouldn't have even been in the stratosphere. They would have fought because you got them two at the top, and then it'd have been Fury, Ruiz, Joe Joyce, the rest of them just duking it out. Who's gonna fight them two next? But now the heavyweight division is so mucked up with like 5 people. You got Usyk trying to get Fury, and that's not happening because Fury's being a bitch, and it's just it's fucking terrible. Like, man, it's just I don't know. Like, we started out so good this year. I don't know what happened. We started out so good.
Yeah, my bad, Twan. I'm back. Yeah. It's just it's nuts. But let me go over this. Let me go over these dates real quick.
Yeah.
Tonight we got Louis Neary. He was a dude who I gave fight of the month when he fought Crazy A earlier.
Okay.
Floyd Schofield, which is Kid Austin. He's the main event here in San Antonio. I might watch it. I might catch up, whatever. Atlantic City, we got, that's what I'm going to be watching. I ain't seen a good fight in AC. You know, when me and you was growing up, Atlantic City was a spot to go see a fight. Every time Tyson fought, it was AC. Even Broner last decade, he was fighting AC in HBO boxing. So, it is going to be good to see the boardwalk popping tonight.
Yes.
So that's tonight. Next week, Twan, Nonito Donaire gets back in the ring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then that's on Showtime, and then Frank Martin's on the undercard. We got Bumgardner. We talked about her.
Yeah.
Next week on DAZN.
Okay.
Now that next weekend is when George Kambosos fights, and then Keyshawn Davis fights on that undercard. So that might be a nice little low-key, fight, weekend right before the big fight.
Yeah, because Keyshawn been talking noise.
Right. Now, don't forget, when Steve Fulton fight Inoue, it's going to be July 25th at 4:45 a.m. So when you get the text message, tell your wife this is just Corey. Remind me to fight on. Ain't no funny stuff.
Oh,
this ain't nobody. This ain't nobody. Some random girl from work or nothing. This is my coworker. So you gotta get up early for that. So don't forget, it's gonna be Tokyo time.
Yeah,
so you gotta get up at 4 a.m. or you'll because it's usually just that fight. So if you don't get up at 4 a.m. Twan, you're gonna miss the fight.
Right. Yeah, I'm about to set my alarm for that.
And then July 28th, we got something in Vegas. And then obviously July 29th, we got the big one in Vegas.
Yep.
And then August 5th, Jake Paul is fighting him. Erislandy Lara versus Danny Garcia on August 5th. I don't know Twan's opinions on that. I'm not interested in watching that fight at all.
I'm all right.
Yeah, I mean, I might talk about it, but I'm not. And I love both of them, but it's just like that does nothing for me.
Yeah.
And then Oscar Valdez gets back in the ring August 12th. And then AJ versus Dillian White August 12th. It's going to be on DAZN. And then it's going to be on pay-per-view in the UK August 19th. Okay. We got one. Twan. We got one before football starts. August 19th, Quebec City, Canada. Artur Beterbiev versus Caleb Smith. That's a nice little scrap.
Ooh.
That's a nice little scrap.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
That's something that's not getting talked about either.
Yeah. Matias versus Sergey Lipinets.
Okay.
That's August 26th. That'll be right before it gets crazy. And
Yep.
then right there, it's going to take that chill spot, Twan. But guess what? That the Chinese champion is refighting Joe Joyce on September 23rd in London, and then the very next week is Canelo Jermel.
That shouldn't be in London. Joe
No, it should be in his hometown. He tripping.
China. What the fuzz? You won the title. Come to China, fool.
Yeah, maybe they paying the money, but yeah, he should have stayed in China. But
They gotta pay him the money because Joe Joyce looked like a damn robot getting his ass
he
whooped.
did look like a robot.
His ass
So
flooded.
I'm excited, Twan. At first, I was sitting there thinking like, oh, after the Spence fight, it's gonna be a couple, and it might be 2 or 3 that me and we might want to cover. But then I'm looking at it. Okay, it's two or three scraps in August that I want to see after the inner way. So once we get through this weekend, next weekend gonna be a chill weekend.
Yep.
Then after that, we got about 2 or 3 weekends where we gonna be able to get busy, bro.
No, good. Definitely.
So, all right, bro. I hit you up during the fights tonight, man. I'm glad we got this in real quick, man.
Yeah, man. You too, man. I'll hit you up.
All right, bro. Peace. I was so mad about that spending my money, man.
I know. I'm out and let it out.
like 3 times. 3 times. Like you come on, dog. You can't 3 times.
Yeah, look, you got to get
not once, not twice. 3. The fight, yo. We out, Twan. We out. I don't even get into it, bro. Spotlight.